Hi, my name's Yvonne and I'm a UK Stampin' Up demonstrator, and what I'm going to show you today is a way to store your cards you made by doing the 12 by 12 sheet, one sheet wonder. Now this box here has got all the cards that I made from the one sheet wonder for the Come Sail Away With Me sheet. So it's got all the 14 cards that I did. You see? Oops, that's upside down. That one is. That one. There we go. So the reason why I've done this particular box, it was a project that Sam Hammond did when we went to a team retreat. Now I've adapted the sizes to fit all the cards in, and that's why I had them turned around, because they'll fit in nicely flat. So this particular box was slightly narrower, to just fit some note cards in, so I've expanded it and changed the measurement so we can fit the standard cards in. And this particular example I'm showing you, I've got all the papers relating to this particular suite, so this is for my purposes the fact that I can see which colours coordinate with which papers. So this is how I use it. So I store all my cards that I made and I put them into this particular box, and then I'll keep them with the stamp set, and then at least I've got all my information. So I'm going to show you how to do this particular box. Now what you're going to need is a 12 by 12 paper, and this 12 by 12 we're going to cut it down to 8.5. So I'm just going to cut it down to 8.5 inches. Save the bit because you always can use the scraps. Right, I'll need that again. So the next part I'm going to be doing some scoring. Now I'll show you my template. So this is the template. So we've got 12.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to be scoring at 1 inch, 5.5 inch, 6.5 inch and 11 inch on the 12 inch side, and then I'll be scoring at 1 inch and 7.5 inches. So I'll do that now. So we have our 1 inch, then we have our 5.5 inch. Oh, I've got to cut it. Oops, made a mistake. I'm slightly going to cut that, but never mind, it's fine. We can work with it. Then we need the 6.5 inch, which is there. Make sure I don't use my cutting blade again. I'm just going to I'll just turn that to there's the 11 inch. I need to score it there. And now on the 8.5 inch side, I'm just going to score at 1 inch. Oops, there we go. And I'm going to turn it around and score it at 1 inch on this side. Right, so as you can see, I went and cut that bit, but it's not to worry, we'll just work with it. Show you all the mistakes. Right, I'm just going to fold all these scores. go. Right, so the next part is we're going to do some cutting. Now I'll bring you back my template. So we're going to do a wedge, cut up and do a wedge on this corner. We're going to do 2 wedges in the middle part, so cut up and cut 2 wedges, and then on this part we're just going to do cut up and do a wedge on this corner, and then we'll do exactly the same thing on the other side. So oops, when you're finished it will look like that. So I'll quickly do the cutting and the wedging. I've just put my scissors down. Oops, everything's going all over the place. Can't believe I went and cut that. Never mind. We do need to cut it anyway, but it doesn't need to be that. So I'm just doing wedges on either side of those. This just makes it'll lay better when you actually stick it together. There and then wedge that, cut up there and wedge that, also that one, so I just want to fold over those just to make sure that they're nice and crisp. Rid of my little rubbish. Right, so we can start assembling now. So I will get my glue, and it's just a case of putting it all together. So, just got my little clips. It doesn't take long to dry, but it's handy when you've got the little clips to help. I did have some little paper clips as well, but I can't seem to find those at the moment. Like really little mini ones. Because I'm using my craft room as an office as well, because I'm working from home, then I put things away and I don't know where they'll put them. So I'm just gluing this tab here, you can see, and I'm just going to glue it to that part of the box. I'm just bending this back a bit because it'll get in the way if not. Just clip that. I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side, so I'm just gluing on the inside of the tab, and then I'm putting it there. I'm just going to bend that back in. Come on. Bend that corner a little bit. Just fold that in. And keep that in there. And then the final part of the gluing is going to be the tabs here. So again, I'm just going to use my Tombow or whatever adhesive you like to use. That's slightly out. If you find that it doesn't quite align up, don't worry about it. No matter how good you are at doing the measurements, it doesn't always quite be as straight as you want. will work with it. Take that off there and pop it on there. So that is the start of the box. Oops. Now what I found on the one that I did on the Sail Away is I want to wedge this part here. I just want to take a triangle out. I'm just going to do it on the inside. Now the reason for that is when it's closed, the corner seems to stick up and I don't like it. So this is my personal preference. Just take that off, that's fine. And oops, should go on the outside. Put on there, and there you go. That's the box. All I'm going to do with this now is I'm using some of the design series paper from the Ornate Garden suite, and I'm going to put some on this front of the box. I've got to be careful because oops, it is a little bit delicate now because I made the box up. So I've just got to decide how big I want this, and I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not particularly too fussed if it's about there, I think. You can measure if you want to, but I'm not particularly for this particular one, I'm not really too fussed if it's not the right shape. But I think that looks absolutely lovely. And the reverse on this side of the paper is these lovely flowers with the yellow, which is probably the new colour, the new in colour Bumblebee, which I will be getting my hands on at some point in the next week or so, because we have our pre-order, which will be next week for the new catalogue, which I cannot wait. So I'm just going to pop that on. And I've just realised I've left my coffee downstairs. I made one, got distracted and it went cold. So I went to make myself another one and I forgot about that too. So, right. Oops. So I'm going to put in, so if I'm leaning and getting in the camera angle. So these are all the cards that I made from the One Sheet Wonder from the Ornate Garden suite. So I'm going to pop those all in there. Now I don't think there's all 14 cards in this particular one. I think I left a couple out. But they are really pretty cards. I do like this with the die cut on top of the same colour cardstock. I think that would be a really nice bookmark. That it's something that I've got an idea for. So there's ones that I haven't quite finished, and they all nicely go in that box. And all I really need to do now is put a stamped image or something. I could use the same paper and do something. Let me see, I'm just going to get the stamp set. I think what I'm going to use is So Grateful. So this is a little bit off the fly. I could use thank you. No, so grateful. Get a block. So that piece of card that we cut off is there. So we'll definitely need that. And I'm going to need another piece of card. No. Any card scraps I keep in one of these pocket folders, not with my cable in there, but any scraps I'll keep in pocket folders just in front of me, so if ever I want to do any stamping I've got some cardstock ready and waiting, so I'm using up my scraps, which is good. Let's put that on straight. Luckily with the grid lines on here I can position it better. Now what ink shall I use? Oh, can't think what ink to use. I might use soft suede. No, basic grey. I seem to be drawn to basic grey a lot at the moment, especially if I don't want anything too harsh on a card. I think basic grey just is really, and press that down. There we go. I'm just going to use my little mini trimmer, which I am so sorry you can't get this because it was part of the celebration promotion. Oops. Oh, put it down there. But it's such a handy little trimmer that I couldn't use it. And then I can put that across there. Now let me see if I've got any ornate frames that I can use. So when I did all my frame cutting for the for my other project, I did some extra ones. I could put it sideways, but I don't want that one. I may just end up using a different one. That's a shame. I could use that. It's a pity I haven't got that in there. That's too big. I could put it. No. This is how I would normally design my cards. It's just a bit of hit and miss on whether I like it or not. I'll probably just put the same one there, but yeah, it's slightly too big, unfortunately. So I might just go with that. Maybe maybe. Basically, I'm just playing about with this. So I might just do that. where I find out I've cut it wrong, which is probably the case. No, I've cut it fine. I'm good. So yeah. And this is how my desk gets messy, when I get things out and chuck them to one side, and then I get an idea about something else, and then one thing leads to another, and I've got a desk full of craft stuff and I can't move, and I'm working on my knee. But hey ho, that's how crafting works. I'm just going to put some glue on there. So if you didn't know, these particular dies that I've cut out are from the Ornate Garden Suite. They're beautiful dies. The detailing on them is absolutely gorgeous. I didn't think I'd actually use them, but now I've actually used all the frames. I really like them, and I think if I make them up ready, then at least it'll save me time. Oops. So there we go. That is, move everything out of the way. So that is my box to store your cards. Now the envelopes won't go into all the cards, so if you want to make 2 boxes and then you can put the envelopes in, I highly recommend putting envelopes with the cards, because if not, you spend a lot of your time trying to look for the right size envelope. So a while ago I put things, cards and envelopes together, so I didn't have to go rooting for envelopes. But so this is a really nice idea. Now, one idea I did a few months ago was just a little idea if you want to do that. I mean, you could stick something on the inside of there for your birthdays, for reminders and things, but it's entirely up to you. Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video showing you how to make this little box. And I'm sure you can adapt it for note cards, make it thinner if you want to, just adjust the sizes to make it fit what you require. If you require any of the papers or the die cuts that I've used and stamps and things, link down below will be to my shop where you'll be able to purchase these. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. Then I'm trying to get 50 subscribers by June, and I'm hoping to be able to reach that goal. So after that, I will leave you to your rest of your day. Thank you very much. Bye bye.